Lougheed Village is not your typical dead mall. This isn't a dead mall at all. It's a failed understanding of what community is meant to be. But it's so well preserved, a time capsule, and it's a fascinating liminal space. Lougheed Village is a large, high-density residential housing development. In this part of British Columbia in the 1960s, a lot of investment was happening around Burnaby Mountain with the new liberal arts college. This was an early attempt at a high-density housing complex in the suburbs. You have to keep in mind that at this time in the late 60s and early 70s, a lot of people were fleeing the downtown of Vancouver, as they were many downtowns due to perceived crime, insecurity. A complex like this, specifically targeting singles, selling condos like this, you were selling a lifestyle. So they often had a lot of amenities, furnished, things like hobby rooms, woodworking rooms, game rooms. This one takes it a step further with the amenities, because imagine creating an artificial, multi-level indoor shopping street within the common space of the apartment complex, complete with everyday essentials like doctors, dentists, pharmacists, small supermarket. All of the shared amenities of the building were in here. You can see the pool here, fitness center. It even had a bar and grill, and it's still open. On paper, this seemed like it could have worked. It's essentially a small shopping mall that uses the high-density apartment towers and the residents as anchors. And having all this indoor space was really appealing in a wet climate in this era of insecurity. Like, this seemed to be really common in the 60s and 70s. You'd see covered walkways everywhere, lots of underground malls being put in. I guess people just didn't really want to be outside. And with everything within the mall between the two buildings, you didn't really have to go outside. When we talk about liminal spaces being transitional, they're referring to the crossover between the public realm and private property. It's something called the common. Something like a shopping mall is a really good example of this. Any member of the public's allowed to browse through the mall. There's written and unwritten social rules and cultural norms that are expected for you to follow. And making a purchase is not a written rule. But how do you feel seeing a space like this? Does seeing it empty and devoid of life, does it give you an uncanny, surreal feeling that something's just off? This is particularly interesting because it's open to the public, because it has businesses inside and professional offices that can be rented out. You have this kind of quasi-private public space that isn't really that functional, but it's pretty unique, and I've really never seen anything else like this, because I didn't see a single person when I was in here, but it's like a time capsule. It is trapped. I love the exterior design of complexes like this kind of layered, earthy look, concrete look that was it's very reminiscent of Arthur Erickson, who designed SFU, and he was likely the inspiration for this design because the street is named Erickson Drive. I think people's fascination with spaces like this just comes from the absurdity of it even existing. I'd like to imagine whoever planned this thought it would be like a college dormitory with people coming and going all the time. Do you know why this didn't work? What do you think?